you to the strategy room tonight. So why does Obama seem to be constantly backing away from some of these proposed town hall meetings? Joining me now on the right, we have syndicated radio talk show host and Fox News political analyst Tammy Bruce. And on the left is David Sirota. He's the author of a new book called The Uprising. David, let's start with you. Why Obama won't he commit to these town hall meetings that originally said he would do, and now he's not committing to them?
Well, look, I think he'll probably end up doing a number of these on the campaign trail. I think the question is right, though. I think the question about whether Obama is trying to run now as a front runner, trying to run as a sort of a rose garden strategy, I think that's a good question. I'm not sure that's happening, but it's a good question. You know, as somebody who's worked in political campaigns, I think that's the last thing that he should want to do. I mean, he needs to be running. You know, you always say in politics, if you're 10 points up, you want to be running like you're 10 points down, and I think that he needs to remember that.
But come on, speaking to military families, I mean, you got to admit that that's something pretty important when this week's theme of his is talking about foreign policy. Tammy, what's your reaction to this?
You know, this is the perfect audience. The organizer was right. The military isn't necessarily all going to vote for John McCain. The truth is there are issues that he can answer, but we must remember, we may think he's a front runner, as your other guest suggested, but he doesn't even have the delegates yet for the nomination. It is still the superdelegates' call at the convention. And one thing I think why he's avoiding this is because if there is a major problem in that environment, which he clearly seems to be afraid of, if he makes a major faux pas, you could have a floor vote in Denver that goes to Hillary Clinton. Unlike with John McCain, who has the delegates for this nomination, Barack Obama doesn't even have the Democratic nomination yet. So this is an audience that he's got to show. I didn't interrupt you, sir. Let me finish, please. This is an audience where he has an opportunity to persuade people, and if he's in fact even leaving the country to avoid John McCain, that is not the sign of a leader or a man who's convinced of his own message.
David, what do you think of that?
Well, look, let's be fair. I don't think Barack Obama is worried about superdelegates at this point. That point is absolutely absurd. I think it's absolutely. I think it's a good
Tammy,
question.
let David talk there.
I think it's a good question as to how many town meetings Obama is going to do and whether he's going to get in front of military families. I think he should. I absolutely think he should. I think he's got a better case to make on military issues than John McCain, who's saying that he wants to keep the troops in Iraq for 100 years or 1,000 years or 10,000 years. So I think Obama has a good case to make, and I think he should be in front of military families. Absolutely.
Why won't Obama then, David? Why won't Obama then do these debates?
Well, again, I'm not going to say that he's not going to do them. The question is,
well, why not commit to them? I mean, you know, he's
hesitated?
going to have some people in the military who are certainly sympathetic to his point of view. In fact, if you look at old exit polls, military folks tend to favor the Democrats anyway. So why not just commit to this? What's the problem?
Again, I think what's going on here is that Obama may be potentially trying to run a little bit of a rose garden strategy right now. He feels probably a little bit like the front runner and is a little bit more risk averse. And what I would say to him is that he's got to be campaigning not like the front runner. He's got to be campaigning like the underdog, because this is still a very divided country and he's still got an uphill climb. I mean, the conservative movement's got a real machine here to try to stop him.
Okay, Tammy, just a few seconds left and we got to go.
One reason why. He's a programmed candidate, has no vision for the future, and is afraid to speak directly to people about things he doesn't understand. That's why he won't do it.
Okay, guys, we're going to have to leave it there. Tammy Bruce and David Sirota, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Heather.